real quick, I got a special announcement for you guys. Right now, we're running a special promotion over on poodlecfb.com. If you use code WINTER with a capital W, you will receive 40% off the annual deal, which basically locks you in from now and the majority of CFB 26. It's one of the fastest growing communities, so you definitely want to get in now so you'll be locked in for next year. And if you want to stick to the monthly plan, we're running 20% off on the monthly if you use code WINTER2025 with a capital W. So make sure to check it out. The codes and links will be down below in the description and in the comments. Everybody's Poodle back with another CFB 25 video, and in today's video I'm going over the least important stats that you want to stop focusing on in Dynasty mode, Offensive Edition. Before we get into the video, guys, as always, if you haven't already, check out poodlecfb.com. Code WINTER with the capital W gets you $40 off the annual plan, and code WINTER2025 with the capital W gets you 20% off the monthly plan. Remember, this is a lifetime recurring discount, so make sure you lock it in now. That way, heading into CFB 26, you have it locked in week one when we're dominating Dynasty, when your coworkers, your friends, your family are all accusing you of cheating. It'll be because of that Discord chat. I promise you, there's some great minds working in there. We have a huge community growing in there. You don't want to miss out on it. Make sure you check it out. All of our spreadsheets, our newest features, everything is live. So make sure you check it out. You won't regret it, I promise. Let's head into it. Let's go to the roster here. We've done the best offensive. We've done the best defensive. Now it's time to talk about what we don't care about in detail, right? Because this is important too. I feel like a lot of people look at certain things in certain positions and they don't realize how unimportant it can be. Let's start with the quarterback position. For me personally, it's a lot of the abilities. First off, a lot of people play on placement and accuracy, so the abilities haven't even mattered for them all year. I just don't notice the abilities as much, and quite honestly, the abilities on quarterbacks, the best ones are on a field general. A lot of people don't play with field generals for whatever reason, right? They want scramblers. Scrambling abilities, I don't really care for too much. It's not a magician, but you don't always get the requisite stats to get that. Honestly, quarterback abilities to me in Madden have always been the greatest thing. In CFB, I'm more concerned about their ratings. I'm not saying abilities don't matter, but it's definitely, again, quarterback, you want everything. You want abilities, you want ratings. But for me, if I had to choose quarterback, abilities don't matter too much. Awareness to me doesn't seem to matter at all, considering you're using the player most of the time. Of course, there's differences between field general and scrambler. For me, field general, you don't need as fast, but I still want some speed. So obviously, the accuracy matters. All that stuff matters. For me, what I don't care about too much is going to be some of the stuff over here. Like anything that has to do with athleticism for a field general, I don't care as much. I just need base straight line speed for me. As a scrambler, you care more about it, but quarterback's the only one that I have to go with, where that's where I'm going with abilities here. They just matter across the board. You want to take everything you can get. Now, I'm not recruiting a quarterback for their awareness, for their strength and all that, but obviously you want them to have basically everything. Break sack is good for the extender ability, but if you're a field general, it doesn't matter as much. You may end up just getting in more trouble than it's worth, and so on and so forth. So for quarterbacks, there's not too much. You're going to take it all. But let's get to the running back. This is where we start to divvy it up a little bit. For me, when looking at a running back, there's some things that I've never really cared about. So agility is one of those things that I don't feel like I notice too much. Honestly, I go for change of direction. I'm never overly just like, oh yeah, his agility's only 89, I don't want him. I look at change of direction, although they're pretty tied together, so you're never going to see a big discrepancy there. Strength, obviously, for a power back, for a elusive back, I really don't care too much. Awareness doesn't matter to me at all. Ball carrier vision, don't worry about that. Doesn't really matter. Catch matters a little bit. But you'll notice that running backs just aren't coded to catch the ball well. They all catch like they're a running back. So even if you have a 99 catch back, he'll still drop balls. If you're going strictly for a receiving back, you need this for abilities. But I'm never too worried about the catch rating. Their route running as well. You don't really notice it. One of those things, you have 99 route running and it's just like not like a wide receiver. Release, blocking, all that stuff. I basically wouldn't worry about anything besides their athleticism. And then, of course, their trucking, their juking based on their position. And, of course, I think toughness is important. And injury and all that stuff, because in running backs just get so killed by the wear and tear system. So definitely be taking a look at those aspects. But from what I went over, that's basically it. In terms of abilities, all I really care about in a running back is shifty. And then if they're a power back, of course, I like their anti-wear and tear abilities and all that, and being able to like give a punch back. But for the most part, running back abilities, I really just care about shifty. Everything else to me is just extra. If they're not getting shifty, I don't think, just like quarterback, I'm not overly worried about their abilities unless it's shifty or magician. Otherwise, again, a lot of wasted stats. And I'm only going through this really because I see people recruiting like, oh, you know, this guy has a 99 agility. So, but this guy's a 99 speed. This guy has a 95 speed, but he has 99 agility. No, take the 99 speed guy. That agility's not making a difference. Now, if you told me this guy's 96 speed with 99 COD, but the other guy's 99 speed with 81 COD, I'm like, take the 99 COD guy. That's shifty. I'll take a 96 speed or 95 speed over 99 because 99 speed is going to feel slow if you try to change any kind of direction at all. So that's where it matters. But for those unimportant abilities, don't use them as deal breakers when recruiting. Wide receiver. What doesn't matter for a wide receiver? Same thing. Agility, awareness. That's where I stand there. The thing with wide receiver is like spec catch. I don't care too much about it. especially on a deep threat. On a physical guys, I think it's important because how you get like those diving, those crazy catches. On a deep threat wide receiver, I'm not too worried about it. But for me so far, it's going to be agility. It's going to be strength, awareness, carrying. I don't care about ball carrier vision. I don't care about truck, spin, juke. Honestly, I don't care about all that stuff. Spin slightly because I like to spin a little bit with my wide receivers. All I care about in the wide receiver is really that speed, the route running, and the catching. Now, as far as their abilities go, kind of the same concept. I don't care about layout. I don't care about double dip. I really just care about press, break, takeoff, and shifty for the most part. Honestly, all the other abilities are just fluff. So if you see a guy that has like double dip and layout, you might be like, not a deal breaker. The only reason I'd say it could be beneficial is because remember, if they start with those abilities, silver or bronze, that means they're allocating less skill points towards upgrading them, which means more of it will go towards their actual attributes. So you can take it like that. But I'm not going for guys who are great in the open field. You have a wide receiver with great break tackle, great stiff arm truck, and you're not going to really feel, it's not going to feel like that. And also when you're in the open field and you're one-on-one with the safety or cornerback, you're probably going to spin. You're not going to try to stiff arm with a wide receiver. So really just don't focus on those extra fluff stats for the most part. Tight end. Agility doesn't matter. Awareness doesn't matter. Same concept here as always. Now for tight end, route running, unfortunately, it is so important. You're just not going to find one. You're not going to find one. I'm not overly worried with tight end. Is this going to be more of a situational play when recruiting? I don't care about blocking. Don't look at a tight end and be like, oh, he can kind of block. If you're getting a tight end with 86, 87, 88 speed, he's running routes every single play. You're likely not blocking him, or you're blocking the other one. It's very rare you block him, but honestly, you're not going to notice a 65, 70 plus pass block guy really doing much of a great job in that situation. Don't use pass blocking as a deal breaker or really run blocking. Now, if they happen to be really fast and they come with it, that's great. What I'm talking about in this video is not making deal breakers based on certain stats like, oh, you know, he really has the 77 run block, I'll take 2 less speed. No, take the speed. The odds of you using it are very, very, very low. Open field truck, stiff arm spin, don't worry about that stuff. Use a tight end and go to truck a cornerback in the open field. They likely break the tackle. Use a tight end in the open field and get hit stick by a cornerback, they likely bounce off the tackle. Tight ends just way more. They're bigger. They're like certain positions you'll learn are coded to do certain things. Kind of like Madden. In Madden, you could have a 99 speed, 99 jump middle linebacker. They won't go for an interception. You change his position to safety or cornerback and play him at middle linebacker spot, they will start jumping. Certain positions are coded to play a certain way. Tight ends break tackles. So don't worry about stuff like that. Don't worry too much about that. Don't worry too much about jump. They're coded to be like clunky, not big jumping guys. Worry about for tight end, like I said, the speed and some of the other stuff, but don't worry about their blocking stuff unless you're getting a blocking tight end. That's very different, but they're going to come with all that stuff. So this is more about the ones you're actually going to draft, like possession and vertical threat. If you find an 88 speed tight end and you're going against a guy with an 85 speed tight end and you're looking at both of them, like, you know, the 85 speed might be a little bit slower, but he has slightly better excel and he comes with slightly better blocking. I'll take the more well-rounded guy. No, take the guy that's higher speed, because the odds of you getting a speed up to an 88 are almost impossible on a tight end. Lineman. I hate linemen because there's so many attributes and no one really knows. For me, what do I care about here? I always care about these base stats for me. These base stats for me matter the most. I think awareness, that's where I kind of care a little bit more, because I feel like a dumb lineman does dumb stuff. I don't care about COD, obviously. I don't care too much about agility. I really don't care about speed. I don't call many pulling plays. And if you do, just make sure the one fast guy on your line plays that spot. I wouldn't overly think, like, I've seen people like, oh, you know, I really want my tackle to have a 76 speed because in real life they're supposed to be athletic. You don't really notice it in this game. They're not going to get beat off the edge because they're slower. Where you will notice it is if you run power or halfback base, which again is going to be the guard pulling, not the tackle. You'll notice a few situations where like their speed is like 50 speed and it's like, yeah, he can't get to the hole. But then you'll have an 80 speed tackle or guard and you'll run a halfback base to the right and he just stays lateral to the line and never goes upfield. So the speed didn't really matter. Maybe you do a pin pull or a toss right to the right and they all come out ahead of you. There's situations where it helps when you have a 99 speed running back. There's situations, just make sure you play the fast guy there. Again, don't think this left tackle is really good pass blocking, but this one has an 79 speed and he has solid pass blocking. I'll take the speed because you can't teach speed. Don't recruit like that. Just put a tight end there if you care about speed. Get an 82 speed possession tight end or get a 77 speed pass block or a blocking tight end and move them there. Don't worry too much about all the athletics of alignment. Not important. Abilities matter a lot for them. There's some that don't. So keep that in mind. But these are really what you want to be avoiding in this aspect when looking at players, especially across the line. So just to recap, quarterback, there's not really much. You kind of want everything they have. I will say just don't stress about their abilities too much. Don't overly sit there thinking, oh, you know, he has sleight of hand. A lot of that stuff's worthless. Halfback, don't focus on some of the extra semantics of the position that like you think matter, but they don't. Wide receiver, all the extra open field stuff. Tight end, open field stuff and blocking. And linemen, don't focus on their athletics. It's kind of reverse for everything else. Now you care really just about their ratings, less about their athletics. You're not really going to utilize it. There's occasional times where my tackle will end up playing tight end for like a play. I don't know, wear and tear reasons maybe. And I'll throw a pass to him and I'm like, oh wow, that guy's slow. But the 75 speed wouldn't have helped much more anyways. That basically wraps up the video for the offensive side of the ball of what you want to be just kind of not caring about as a whole. Could there be a few other things here that don't matter as much? Again, some things take testing. For me at quarterback, I don't always care about too much excel, especially in a field general. I just need enough straight line speed that if I do see a hole, I can take it. I'm not really caring about much of the other stuff. There's some other things. Feel free to comment down below. The community and myself will help you out with a few other questions you may have about ratings and stats and abilities. But that's where I kind of stand when looking at these players and kind of assessing them, what I kind of avoid. Make sure you guys do go check out my best offensive and defensive ratings. I think that is super informative for what I look at and why I look at it. This was kind of the opposite of it and what I ignore and don't really care about when getting a player. Height, by the way, very archetype specific. A route runner or a deep threat, I don't care about their height. Honestly, I prefer them to be smaller. I actually don't want a 6'4" deep threat because you'll notice that they don't change direction well, and a 6'4" deep threat with shifty won't cut like a 5'10" or 6'1" with shifty. I think it's coded to where if they're 6'2" or higher, they don't get those quick cut animations. You'll notice because if you have like a 5'7", 5'9" running back, which is platinum shifty, he's like a little rat in the hole and can't be touched. So keep that in mind too. There's some height things here. Linemen, get the size. Don't get the size. Doesn't matter to me. Wide receiver, if they're deep threat or route runners, you want them on the smaller side. Running backs, power backs, bigger is fine. I prefer smaller at running back because I don't feel like the height matters too much, and all it does is slow them down and change of direction open field. Same thing with quarterback. You had a 6-foot scrambler. They're very jukey in the field. They're very shifty. You had a 6'5" scrambler. They're very tall and very stern and don't cut well. Same concept, so keep that in mind as well. But that's it for the video. Make sure to check out poodlecfb.com so you can see an exact breakdown and spreadsheet of all the abilities, their rankings, and kind of the weight each thing holds in each position, and kind of how they matter, as well as everything else we have over there. Make sure to check it out. Make sure to use code WINTER for 40% off, $40 off the annual plan, and code WINTER2025, capital W, for 20% off the monthly. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.